I'd love to meet him. Unfortunately, you guys have to sit closer to the front.
Oh, is that right?
Well,
Okay.
just look at
that's true.
Look at the seats right now.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
Right.
That's very unfortunate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll do this side. I feel like this side's less.
Yeah, there's six.
What? There's six. We are six.
You're six. I'd grab them.
Well, there.
Maybe we can also put some more chairs back there if we're going to eat.
Okay, we can sit.
I love it. So
We're gonna be front sitters.
Front six?
Front sits.
What do we do for?
You want to do four? Okay. But then they really have to. But then they're a front. Then they can't hide. Yeah. Here you guys don't have to break up. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do 3 and 3. Yeah. We'll break some of you guys up. This guy and I'll take different. Yeah. So the you guys go to
there's these bonuses and we accept bodies different That's what I heard. And so yeah, last week I wore your wedding entourage stuff, but like, so I had to tell you it's her page. It's so funny. Hi, so nice to meet you, Talia. What's your name? Daniel? So nice to meet you. I think we get them all. Love it.
That's where Gabe is.
Awesome. Maybe see each other in the hospital. It's fantastic. And how about, are they the other couple, are you like, you come through them? You're not Google employees, like, you're not like, Friday nights, the Friday night services are radically different. Friday night's like camp, guitar. Saturday morning it's very traditional. And Friday night's very short. Saturday's long, but there's a great lunch, so you know it's like. Right, they'll show you or we'll show you the big picture if you want to see it. Excellent. If everyone would take a seat, we're going to go ahead and get started. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's, although, our world is still a difficult place right now, especially for Jews. Tonight, Shabbat is joy, and especially tonight is Shabbat joy because Rachel Heim will be becoming Bat Mitzvah tomorrow, and she's going to be helping to lead lots of the service. And so anyway, they brought lots of family from lots of places, and we're very, very excited to have you. All right, we are going to begin on page 5. Sing a new song to God. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Baruch Shemo Basru Miyom Yom Yeshuato Zachru Bagoyim Kevodo Bechol Ha'amim Nifrotav Ki Gadol Adonai Ulam איי 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 ישתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש כאילו ממנה כל הארץ אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך אחי כל תבל בתימות יעני נביאים ומישרים ישרו השמיים ותגל הארץ ירם הים ובלום ידום שדי וכל אשר בו איי 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 אל תירדנו כל עצי יער מפני אדוני כי איבה לשפוט הארץ ושבו כל תבל וצדק ועני באמונתו איי 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 We're going to go to page 12. All right, page 13 means Mordecai. Hey! page 15, Lecha Dodi. We'll do the first two and the last two stanzas. And we'll do two different tunes. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, V'neshama Nekavela, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, V'neshama Nekavela, Shamor Zachor V'Gibor Echad, Ish V'Yadu El HaMichad, Adonai Echad, V'Shemo Echad, V'Shemo Tiferet V'Dikilah, Echad Dodi, Echad Dodi Likrat Kala, V'Neshama Nekavela, Echad Dodi Likrat Kala, V'Neshama Nekavela, Likrat Shabbat Lechu V'Nelcha, Ki Bekor HaBracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, So Mama Seba Mashabat Chila. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavela. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavela. Bottom of 17, Yamin Uzlo, Tifrosi, V'hem Adonai Ta'ariti, Al Yaish Befarti, V'yismecha V'nagila La 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 Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavela. We rise and face the entrance, welcoming the Shabbat bride. All right. Ohi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzola, tov emunei sekular, ohi kala, ohi kala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei b'nei shabbat nekavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei b'nei shabbat nekavela. And we say to any mourners in our midst, Hamakom Menachem Enchem B'Tov Shavei Tzion B'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated. Just say, Megan, head to the front. Right there for you. We can make some more seats if we need to. There's a few. Right, there's still some right there. If not, we'll put these over there. There's card chairs. Those are for you all as well. You can. I think we're okay for the moment. All right, yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right, we're now on page 19. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov ve'odot le'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, lezamer l'shimcha elyon, ve'hakif b'boker b'secha. Continue on our own, pages 19 and 20. Tzadika Tamar Yifrach Ka'erez Balbanon Yizkeh Shetunim Bebeit Adon Chatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Ogenun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yiyu Lehagid Ki Yashara Adonai Turi Velo Avlatavo 21 Adonai Malach Yot Lavesh Adonai Zidazar Aftikon Tevel Baal Timot Achon Kisacha Meaz Belamata Nesun Narot Adonai Nesun Narot Kolam Yisun Narot Okyam Mikol Mayim Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishmereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Erotecha Nehemnu Me'od Leveitecha Navah Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim. We rise very briefly for the Baruch Hu. It's not quite as briefly as some weeks because Rachel's going to help me lead Baruch Hu. We're going to do the tune she knows, which is a little longer. We may be seated, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bivaro Bari Harami. Not yet. El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Amari Harami. come up for this piece as well, the Shema Ve'ahavta. V'yitem kedoshim lo'echem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Emet. Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Yashikoah. Continue on our own. Page till right now we're on page 30. We're going to be on page 32. We're about to hit the Micha Mocha, but tomorrow we're actually going to read Micha Mocha in the Torah itself. Well, we're not. I mean, we're going to follow along as Suzanne reads that part. It's part of the Song of the Sea, and this Shabbat is called Shabbat Shirah, the Sabbath of the song. I'm going to do a little snippet of a few different Micha Mochas, and then we'll go into the one that was written by one of our own members, which is the one most people around here know the best. But if you're if you grew up Orthodox or conservative, you probably at one time were most familiar with this one. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot Osei Feleh. If you grew up Reform, you probably knew this one by Isidore Fried. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh. At some point, when you hit the 80s, and Richard Silverman, who at the time was at Temple Isaiah but eventually moved to Connecticut, he wrote the following one, which people think is Hasidic because it's a Hasidic sounding tune, but it's not. It's written in the late 80s by Richard Silverman. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot Osei Feleh, Norah Tehilot Osei Feleh. If you go to camp today, of most camps, certainly the Reform camps and BYO camps, this is the one you'd hear. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot Osei Feleh, Adonai Okay, so that's a little snippet for you. And now we get to the one that that you'll only hear here, but it's the one that. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's two Debbie Friedman ones. So, okay, let's see. One's in my head. The other one I'm trying to get in my head. Mi kamoha ba'eli madronai. Mi kamoha ne'roga rodes. Nora tehilo. And then she didn't like that one enough, and then she came up with one which I think is really one of the best ones. That's excitement. You cross the sea, and so that one does that well. But while we're on that, I just keep going. She wrote a similar song in a major key, but it's the same idea, and she could mash them up together somehow, and that's Miriam's song.
Yeah.
And the women dancing with their timbrels follow Miriam, and she sang her song. Woo! Sing a song to one that we could talk to. Miriam and the women dance the whole night long. And now Murray. rise, page 34, Vishamru, the Covenant of Shabbat. Feel free to clap along with the rhythm of the song. Vishamru, B'nai Israel, standing for the Chatzi Kaddish, page 35.
Yikadav, Yikadav, Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ve'amad Yivarach Yurteh, Ve'amliv Malchuteh, V'chayechonu Yomecha, V'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ba'agala, U'bizman Karev. V'yimaru. Amen. Ye'eshrei Rabbah Mevorach. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yipar, V'yitramam, V'yinaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalah, Shmei Kudashah, B'richu, Le'elam, Min Kol Birchata, B'shirata, Tushechata, V'nechemata, Ta'amiran Be'alma, V'yimaril. Amen.
Private Amidah, pages 37 through 48. Just go ahead and read the words in the book, whichever language is most comfortable. It's also just a good time for your own private meditations and prayers. say shalom Hallelujah, say shalom Aleinu, Day of all Israel, Imru Amen, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Be'achol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Be'achol Yisrael, Imeru, Amen. Because I spent so much time on Mi Chamocha, we're going to skip the Mapeh Tefillah and go straight to the Kaddish Shalem on page 53.
Amen. Amen. Oh, say shalom b'mama, Huya say shalom, Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael b'Imaru. Amen.
Yasher Koach. We look forward to much more tomorrow. We'll have you and your family up again for the Kiddush in just a few minutes. So if you're a guest, and there are certainly many guests from the B'nai Mitzvah family, I'm no formal sermon usually on Friday nights. I read some sort of historical document that I found in our archives, files, letters. Today, this one comes from December 28, 1964. It's a letter from Rabbi Harold Schulweis to a woman named Marie Winston, which isn't important unless somebody actually knows her, which would be really cool when that happens sometimes. Lived on Merritt Avenue. And Don Kepler, you're going to love this one. Okay, so, and you'll understand why in a moment, and I'll explain why to everybody because I have some follow-up to it. So, dear Marie, in regard to your letter concerning the proselytization of non-Jews, let me state the following. And by the way, I don't have the letter that preceded this. I only have his letter back to her. On the assumption that the non-Jewish party comes to Judaism with good faith and with integrity embraces the Jewish people, identifying himself with their fate and faith, he is to receive with openness of heart. As the Talmud puts it, dearer unto God are those who come to join Israel than those who are native-born Jews. The proselyte, having been instructed by proper rabbinic authority and having made commitment to be identified with Judaism and the Jewish people, is a member with full rights and privileges of the Jewish community. Any prejudice on the part of Jews toward the proselyte is considered to be a Chilul Hashem, or a desecration of the name of God. Hoping this will prove helpful to you and your friend as ever. Cordially, Harold Schulweis, Rabbi. So, for those who don't know Don has a whole organization specializing in interfaith issues for those who come to Judaism, conversion, and all kinds of surrounding issues. Now, the letter could have been like, hey, Rabbi, why is no one accepting my friend as a convert? Or the letter could equally well have been, hey, what is it with these converts? You know, I don't trust them. I'm suspicious of them. I can't tell, and I'm guessing you would agree, like, it could be either one, right? Either as options. I do know historically, there's all these things, they always, there's no such thing as coincidence. They all happen in the same week. Jack Coulter, it's his York site this week, and Jack Coulter was a convert, but by the time, no one knew it, right? And I remember he told me the story one time. Rabbi Schulweis asked in an adult education session, how many people would feel uncomfortable if you found out the person next to you in the study session was a convert, and everybody raised their hand. I mean, the 2020s are very different than the 1960s. I mean, it's really, it's amazing that the progress and just the way people think differently, some for good, some for bad. And what Rabbi Schulweis apparently said, according to Jack, was, a lot of you just don't know who is and who isn't. So I find it quite objectionable. And then this also happens to be the week where I started my Introduction to Judaism class, where there are people studying for conversion. The same week, someone who it was kind of too early in their relationship, according to them, to come, came to me. He really was having trouble with the fact that not that his girlfriend was not Jewish, but that she might be interested in Judaism, but is it for the wrong reasons? Because is it about him and not about her? And I feel bad asking, and all those things. And what I will tell you in relation to that, I'll just give you my views and my feelings. One is like working with converts is one of the funnest parts of my job. I love it, right? It's that's number one. Number two, converts to Judaism, full rights. I mean, they're just Jews once they convert, but they have brought tremendous energy to our community in particular, but North American Jewish communities all over. We are so blessed and so lucky, and I'm not sure we would survive without the serious amount of conversions that we've had to Judaism as a conservative or reform movements, either one of them.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, and this one may be slightly controversial to some of you, but well, it's my view and it's my experience. Seeking out conversion, at least initially, for the sake of someone you love is not the worst reason. In fact, it might be the best reason to want to share a partnership and a frame of reference for looking at the world, and a lifestyle and a calendar and just everything is an amazing reason. And I'm telling you, there's no epidemic of insincere converts coming for their partner. And in all honesty, I mean, if anything, some of the people who've come on their own are, I'm not suspicious of them either, but with a few experiences I've had with people converting and leaving Judaism have all been individuals, not partners. Most of them would be, I would call them extreme searchers. They're looking for something, they find it in Judaism, but then they look for something else and find it in something else. So anyway, all that came out of this letter to me, and hope you enjoyed it. So, all right. We're going to continue now on page 55 with the Kiddush. We're going to invite Rachel and Allison and Suzanne and Douglas to come on up. I'm making sure that it is juice in here, which it is. Please rise. Yeah, Maya, you want to come up with everybody? You certainly can. We love having you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, bo'ei peri hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah b'anu, v'shavat kodsho v'alvavot ratzah nidinanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh Bereshit, ki hu yom tekilah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tzilat Mitzrayim, ki banu ha'arta, v'yotanu ki dashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shavat kosheva, v'yamahu ratzon, imraltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. I am delighted. You can share it with your close family members there. And if you are near to your children or someone else you might be comfortable blessing, children in utero, we have there's a bunch here tonight.
To the water.
We say Yisimeh Elohim Kasara Rivka Rachel Leah, Yisimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'Menashe,
Yivarech Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yishmerecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. Remain standing for the Aleinu, page 57. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'tei kula l'yetzer b'reishim, shelo v'asanu v'yeh ha'arsot, elo samanu v'ishtapat ha'adamah, shelo sam helkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonah, v'anachnu korim, v'mishtabim u'modim, v'ifnei melech malkei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'emuno k'shamayim v'yosei haaretz, u'moshe v'yokaro b'shamayim ima'al, u'shchina tuzo, v'tovei meromim. Yortsites we observe during the coming week. There are many people here tonight specifically for Yorkside. I see you here and my thoughts are with you, thinking especially of Erwin Barani, Etty Bernstein, Max Brick, Thomas Kane, Joel Carey, Jack Coulter, Barnett Epstein, Louis Feldman, Edward Friendly, Donna Goldfein, Pearl S. Goodman, Abraham Grutman, Joseph Grutman, Sarah Heber, Selma Jackson, Teo Joseph, Celia Caden, Frida Klarman, Shirley Klesmer, Eleanor Leon, Seymour Miller, Joseph Morvai, Norbert Neiman, Blanche Newman, David Oak, Dorothy Peterson, Lillian Raphael, Ann Rapson, who was vice president at the time, whose passing was so sudden and so sad, Beatrice Rear, Phil Rotblatt, Faye Schaefer, Goldie Shapiro, Isaac Shatskin, Harold Silbersweig, Sonny Singerman, George Tabak, Lucille Tama, Ernest Weiner, Adolf Wollner, Gertrude Yarman, Reuven Yaron. And we are in the Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period for Adele Mendelson, Marge London, and Arnie London. The memories of all of them are with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yorkside, as well as anyone else who would choose to rise to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 61. Yit Gadal v'yit Shemei Rabbah. Amen. V'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'ga'ala v'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu la'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'achol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imroma Uyase Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yikru.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha. In memory of the people who've come to say Hanukkah for the blessings, always let us say
Amen.
All right, some announcements. Tomorrow at 9:30, Rachel Hine becomes Bat Mitzvah, followed by a fabulous Kiddush lunch, and also followed by Mahjong in the chapel. Sunday, there are two Tu B'Shvat events. Save the Bay, which is a cleanup around the bay on the Alameda shoreline. If you still want to go, Jody London is the person to ask, and she is right there. There's also, for the young set, PJ Library Tu B'Shvat event at 10:30 a.m. in Piedmont Park. Saturday, February 3rd, Eden Maidenberg becomes Bat Mitzvah. There's also Tfilat Yeladim and Shabbat Mishpacha and Mahjong that day because we're switching from the second and fourth to the first and the third for this one time only. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or learn.
There's a Krav Maga class starting on Sunday, February 4th. And there will be a men's club Super Bowl party. Hopefully it will involve the 49ers. And I mean, this is neither here nor there, but when the 49ers have been in the Super Bowl, I don't like to go to the party because, I'm not exactly on my best behavior when cheering for my team. But so I stay by home. So Karen goes and I stay home by myself. But since they've lost the last two when I did that, if they make it, I'm going to the Super Bowl party. I have to try my best to behave. All right. Douglas and Suzanne, you want to just tell us who came and from where to visit? Of course, I know Joe and Sheila, who are also members of the congregation.
Yay! We have Doug's sister and brother-in-law, Erica and John, are in from Los Angeles.
This are my parents, Fred and Gail, and my cousin Vicky, who came all the way from the East Coast to be here with us.
And my sister, Jen, and brother-in-law, Dan, and Maya.
Excellent. Welcome. Great to have you all, and Mazel Tov again. All right. Finally, the closing song is also the other custom. If you're new here, you don't know that we do this, which is we honor a famous musician who died in the past week. We try to find a song that might be appropriate, which some weeks works and some weeks doesn't. This week it does work. There are several artists died. The lead singer of the Shangri-Las, who did Leader of the Pack, not doing one of their songs. Melanie, who who sang a brand new key. I'm not doing that one. I'm sure she has other important songs too, but the one I'm doing, his name is, you probably don't know him by this name. His name is Frank Farrell. And first of all, he was the producer and I think the singer of Milli Vanilli. But I'm not doing one of those songs, Blame It on the Rain. But he was also, they lip sync, he was the actual voice. He was the actual voice behind it. And he was also better known by his stage name, Boney M. And he took a reggae song, which was based on Psalm 137, not about the waters that we crossed to miracle, but the waters that we wept by in Babylon, where after we were exiled from the land. So his version is actually, there's the Weaver's Don McLean version, which was also a hit, totally different song. That's by the water, That's not this one. This one was covered, it was originally reggae, also covered by two reggae artists, Jimmy Cliff, actually I think three, Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, and Ziggy Marley. But this is the Boney M version, which was a huge hit actually, by the Rivers of Babylon. So if you know it, sing it. So it's about as appropriate as it gets for for a pop musician. By the rivers of Babylon, where we lay down, remembered Zion by the rivers of Babylon, where we lay down, there we wept, where we remembered Zion. Oh, the wicked carried us away, captivity required from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a strange land? Oh, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Zion, by the rivers of Babylon, where we lay down, there we wept, when we remembered Zion. Before I say Shabbat Shalom, a couple more guests who are here for the first time. We should introduce them as well. Tommy and Sky brought them all. They can introduce themselves. You can introduce them.
They can introduce themselves.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go for it.
I'm Talia. Hi. We met in birthing class.
Preparation.
I'm Rose. Dan and I are good friends with Gabe and Toya.
I'm Gabe. Thanks for having us.
That's great to have you here. Welcome. And there's Chala in the back. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.